Alright, so tonight I'm going to tell you something I believe. And yeah, it's completely nerdy, but well, I actually think it's true. And it's pretty cool. There's some math involved, there's a lot of logic involved. So hopefully you can follow along. If you can't, don't worry about it, I guess. Alright, so essentially, I believe aliens exist and they fight intergalactic wars. And I'm not just saying that as like something to say. I actually believe this. I've thought about it, and I've come to the conclusion that aliens exist and fight intergalactic wars. So, alright, let me just explain myself a little bit. So, I do my PhD in theoretical computer science, which is essentially, I don't say that just to say it, but like, essentially what I do is math, and I do logic and math all day long, and this is like what I do with my life. I spend my life doing this. This is kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to explain what exactly I do, but you'll have a good feel for it by the end of this, because what I'm about to explain to you is really similar to what I do on a daily basis. So, first of all, I have to give credit to my friend Steve Liu. He was, like, yeah, a lot of this is his ideas, but we had a whole conversation about it, and we kind of come up with all this stuff on our own together. So I have to give him credit, because without him I wouldn't have anything to talk about tonight. So, alright, so I guess I'm not really proving that, aliens exist and they fight intergalactic wars. More of my statement is, if aliens exist, then they do fight intergalactic wars. So, we're going to have to start out, you're going to have to bear with me, and assume that aliens exist. So, that's the first step. You have to assume that. If you don't do that, then, I don't know, hit pause and go somewhere else. Because if you don't assume that, like, nothing else I'm going to say is going to make sense. So, assume aliens exist. So we're assuming that. Now, there are 10 to the 21st stars in the universe. Okay? So, that's a lot of stars. And now we have to look at what's the probability that an alien exists on a particular star. Well, there's 10 to the 21st stars in the universe. I made this chart. So, if there's 10 to the 21st stars in the universe, if the probability of aliens existing on a particular planet is 1 over 10 to the 21st, that's going to give one alien, us, people, or Earth. So if the probability of aliens existing is 1 over 10 to the 20th, it's going to give 10 aliens. If it's 1 over 10 to the 9th, that's going to give 100 aliens. 1 over 10 to the 18th, it's going to give 1,000 aliens. And if it is 1 over 10 to the 12th, like right in the middle, that's going to give us 1 trillion aliens, okay? And, if it's 1 over 10 to the 6th, say 1 in a million, that's still going to give us 10 to the 15 aliens. Do you know how many aliens that is? That's just astronomically large. The point of this is that the number of stars in the universe and the probability that aliens exist, they're like completely independent events. They're not correlated at all. So there's no reason to think that the probability that aliens exist would be anywhere around these top 4. Like, it wouldn't be around there. Like, if aliens do exist, the probability is somewhere in the middle. Or it's just completely uncorrelated with the number of stars in the universe. And the number of stars in the universe is just this huge number. So, like, really, honestly, I'm dead serious. The probability that aliens exist is probably somewhere in the middle. So, let's go with 10 to the 12th. And say there are 1 trillion aliens in the universe. Can you believe that? Alright, 1 trillion aliens. That's like a conservative estimate, like somewhere in the middle. 1 trillion aliens in the universe. So, if you don't understand that, just go back. Go back, listen to that argument again, because it's fundamental. And it's just a mathematical argument. It's just a numbers argument. Like, I'm not saying anything that no one can follow. There are, with that argument, there are probably just some huge number of aliens in the universe. 1 trillion, right? That's crazy. Now, if there is that much life, this is my favorite part of the argument. It has to be there. Not every civilization has to be advanced, but there must be some civilization that's advanced. All right. So this right here is a timeline of the universe. The universe is 15 billion years old. We've been around. I forgot to write this down. Where's my pen? We've been around for 2 billion years, right? So we've been around for The universe is 15 billion years old. We've been around for 2 billion years. We've only been around for 2 billion years. What are the chances that another civilization started somewhere here, or here, or here? Or even here? Like, not very good. Like, honestly, it would just be like, oh, put a dot somewhere, and then it'd be random. Like, and if there's a trillion civilizations, that means there's like 1,000, or like 1,000,000 in this little dot, and like 100 million in this little dot, and 100 million in this little dot, and 100 million that started here, and 100 million that started here. The point is, and maybe even some over here. The point is, there's probably civilizations that haven't been around for like 8 billion years. 8 billion years. That is so much longer than us. Like, do you know what we've done in the last 1,000 years with just computers? Like, 2,000 years ago, we didn't have writing. Can you imagine what we're going to be able to do in 8 billion years? Well, I mean, to me, it seems like there are aliens out there that have been around that long. Like, seriously. The whole argument is very watertight. So, there are probably, I mean, it's crazy, but there are probably, like, alien civilizations that are 8 billion years old, that are like super civilizations and super, super advanced. Now all we have to do is show that there would be intergalactic wars. Well, I don't think this is that much of a stretch for anyone. I mean, just from the nature of life, if two civilizations from other planets came together, I think they're going to be a little worried about their own survival, just from the nature of life and what it takes to survive in the world, and in any world. So I would imagine that there's probably intergalactic wars. Seriously. With like laser beams and like Star Wars and like everything. Yeah, like I really believe this. Now, I'm not just saying this. Like this is, I thought this out. I believe it. I don't know. So why do I bring this up tonight? Well, I've been wanting to blog about this for a while. But I guess the reason I bring it up tonight is that we just found water on Mars. So, you know, what is the probability that there are aliens on other planets? If there's water on Mars, if there's some internal heat source to Mars, and something that supplies heat and water, two fundamental elements to aliens existing, I mean, that just increases, I think in everyone's mind, that just increases the probability of life on other planets by a lot. So, yeah. I mean, if aliens exist, then there are intergalactic wars. I personally believe aliens exist. So I believe, I never thought I would have never thought this before in my life, and I never thought this before I actually thought it out, but I actually believe that aliens exist and there are intergalactic wars. I don't know. What do you guys think? So that's it. I'm Ryan. I hope you enjoyed this tonight. I hope you were able to follow along with everything. If not, just watch it a couple times. You know, ask your parent to help you out. So, or ask some math teacher to help you out or something. So, alright, well, I'm Ryan, and seriously, I hope you enjoyed this one, so thanks for stopping by. Alright.